We're at a real crisis in this country where we're seeing, if we don't change our ways, the demise of the family farm and the rise of an industrial farming model that would not serve our people, will not secure our future, will not benefit our society. I met a farmer from Kerry, farmer the other day. She gave me the statistics. I don't know if it's true. I asked her to source it and she said it came from Radio Kerry, but I believe it when she said that 60% of farms in Kerry don't have someone to inherit the farm. Probably about right. What are we going to do? And the average age of the beef farmer is 57, so we have 10 years, 60% of those farms will go into forest, into a mega farm, or what? Out west in the summer, I met a fella, I call him young, but he's just about the right side of 50, and he said there was some young training scheme for young farmers, and he said he was the youngest in the training scheme. And even last week, I'm a TD for Dublin Bay South. I was stopped on the street twice. I was stopped on the street once, and then a phone call through to my office from beef farmers asking, what do we do? And I didn't have an easy answer to them, because I'm a TD for Dublin Bay South. But this is my view. I think we need a national land use plan. Now, I know Teagasc have fought that in the Climate Committee when we've been arguing for it, and the government didn't put it into the climate report, but we need a plan for this country. We need a plan, what type of farming where. We can't just keep going with ABP and KEPAC and so on deciding that. We need a plan to know what type of forestry where, what type of rewilded wilderness where. How do we manage our river basin management plans that integrates with all those issues? And critically, what's the social dimension connected to a land development plan? Are we abandoning Kerry? Are we abandoning Leitrim? I don't think so. But we need to change our ways. We need to do that land use plan in conjunction with the new Common Agricultural Policy, and my understanding of the EU approach is that it's not a top-down. It sets the broad 9 objectives, all of which pretty much I agree. Most of them are green, and it says that the country is up to itself to decide how you do it. Well, firstly, we need to stop the current situation in how we pay farmers. I was on the Agricultural Committee there a few weeks ago when we were discussing this beef issue, and there was a simple point, a simple truth that no one disagreed with, that is the corner of this problem. That we're trading on an origin green brand and we're getting an international commodity price, as the Taoiseach said today. That's the problem. And listen, our farmers produce really high quality, particularly beef, particularly that suckler beef thing compared to other systems, is really high quality, but they're getting a lousy price. So that has to change. How do we do that? Well, I think what seems to be Commissioner Phil Hogan has suggested, and I know the department's looking at it, some of the farm organisations supporting it, the protected geographical indicators, so Irish beef being special, particularly suckler cow beef. That's one way I think we could go. But if we're going to make it special, if we're going to be origin green, let's be really origin green. Let's be and I'm sorry, some of this is going to be hard stuff, but that means you can't be doing live exports. We can't be going to the German market, to the green voters there who would pay the higher premium and say, oh, we're all origin green and we're all animal welfare and at the same time we're shipping cattle to Libya and getting a lousy price for the farmer. And it may also mean, it will also mean, that we have smaller numbers. And we will diversify, because we can't bet everything on international commodity market. We can't. What is it, Minister? Is it 50% of our beef is minced? You know, that's not going to get the best price. And just providing every mince burger in Europe to keep this whole industrial farming out, the origin green ones aren't the industrial end of it, it's the beef processor, the big industrial end of it. The farmers are so small, the power imbalance is so significant. But if we change towards a real protected geographical indicator, which is connected to a real switch in how we farm, and use all the skills and real quality that exists in Irish farming, and that, yes, it is grass-fed, but not monoculture ryegrass deserts, which were pumping our soil full of nitrogen and polluting our rivers and waterway to get as much grass out as possible. I'm told, Minister, by the leading academic experts in grassland management is actually a mixed sward is where we're going to go, that it's more nutrient, it's better for the animals' health. They're stronger roots so that when you have a drought, you don't have what we had last summer, the scorched earth Minister Dáil would have seen in the southeast where our grasslands systems couldn't cope. And 3 times in recent years we haven't been able to feed animals in this country because the grass system failed because climate is changing. So we completely change our whole grassland management away from this pumped, high input, high cost, high fertiliser, polluting the waters system that we have at the moment towards a biodiverse, much more resilient, lower cost, better nutrient, protected geographical indicator that we really are the origin green and country that we can get that premium price. And that also helps us. So we're going to pay farmers better premium price for a genuine origin green product. That's not going to be easy, but if we really go for it, I think we can get it. But Europe won't give it to us, firstly, if it's not real, and secondly, the consumers won't buy it if it's not real. Secondly, we pay for storing carbon. We had one of our leading experts over, European experts from the Greens, European Greens, who's negotiating the CAP reform. He had a simple point, that actually some of the upland grasslands that we have, which maybe isn't the best of grasslands, not the Golden Vale, but where a lot of these suckler cows are, actually the best carbon management of that land, marginal grasslands on the hill, is to actually keep livestock on it, light grazing, particularly lighter, not the big continental breeds, but the lighter, more indigenous Irish breeds. The advantage with those, I'm told, is that actually you stop it reverting back, which you would do otherwise, to forest, which would actually drain the land and release the carbon. So we can, Roger Schutter from Teagasc made the case 3 or 4 or 5 years ago when I was talking to him, that we need a land use plan because actually the environmental case and the better case for agriculture go together. It's about time that all of us realise that, and we have a certain humility and go to the farmers and say, listen lads and ladies, I think we maybe have the way forward here that's better than some of the other political alternatives that's been laughing at us for the last 3 or 4 decades. We're the ones to get you the better price. And there's a huge amount of other than those farming skills it's going to be in protecting biodiversity, testing water quality to make sure we really do restore pristine water conditions, educating a whole new generation of young farmers and paying farmers to do that before all these skills are lost, improving access to land so everyone feels that they have a sense of connection to this, connecting our farm to the local school as we're starting to feed lunches in the school. Would we not to say to a farmer, contract them 6 months in advance, listen, we know we're going to have this demand for vegetables and potatoes and meat in our school in 6 months' time. Can you provide it? Can you do school visits to the farm as part of that whole connection? Same way connecting markets, local markets. Why is it we only have the English market and the milk market in Limerick and Cork? How come we don't have the same in Dublin and in Galway and in Waterford and every other town? That's how we're going to get over this. And by doing that, it's actually living up to this Origin Green band and, in a sense, making it all a holistic response. That's the scale of the change in response we need to connect the consumer. Don't forget the consumer in all this, because they're the ones in the end who are going to set the pace, and they're going to be eating less meat. They're going to be on planetary diets. It's going to be a more rare thing, a more special thing, a thing you pay well for. But not to be laughing at someone because if they go vegan or if they're reducing their meat, that's their choice. We do not diss the consumer in this. By bringing the consumer with us and into it, we'll get the money to pay the farmers properly and right. Thank you.